Mr. Ivey, would you please state where you're employed?
I'm employed with the Dade County Office of Inspector General, working at the school board, Miami-Dade County School Board.
When did you begin working for the Miami-Dade County School Board Office of Inspector General on any of their cases?
I began employment December 2008.
Were you provided with any rules or regulations that the school board has to abide by?
Well, I was made aware of them, that they're on the internet, or the intranet.
Now, prior to being employed by the Miami-Dade County Office of Inspector General, where were you employed?
Well, immediately before I was retired.
Okay.
Prior to retirement, I was employed with the City of Homestead as their city manager.
And how long did you hold that position?
A little over 8 years.
8?
Yes, ma'am.
And prior to that?
I spent about 1.5 years as assistant city manager.
And prior to that?
About 10.75 years as their police chief.
What training or experience, training or schooling do you have that qualify you to be the police chief, if any?
Well, again, I have law enforcement experience before I was the police chief. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I have a master's degree in management. And I have an MBA.
So all the cases that you have worked on since December of '08 specifically deal with the school board?
That's correct, initiated by the school board. Yes.
Initiated by the school board. Now, when you started working for the Miami-Dade County School Board Office of Inspector General, were you made aware of restrictions or requirements that exist regarding children's cumulative records?
Not specific to children's cumulative records.
Did anybody instruct you on the legal requirements surrounding the release of children's cumulative records to anyone other than a parent or someone associated with the child's education?
I went on the basis that the IG is authorized any and all documents that the school district has. Yes.
Now I'm going to ask you where I can find that authorization.
In our interlocal agreement with the school board.
Last time you were here, you indicated that you had complied with every school board rule, and also you had complied with additional rules set up by the IG's office, correct?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
I didn't misstate your testimony, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, so now my question is, there's a school board rule that deals with the investigative model, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you comply with that school board rule?
No, I did not.
And are you aware that there's a school board rule dealing with anonymous complaints?
Yes.
Did you comply with that rule?
Yeah, no, I did not. We do not use that PIM model for our investigations in the IG. That is for school board investigations. So when I say I didn't violate the rules, I'm intending to say we didn't violate the rules that we followed by the school board. And that's one we do not follow.
Okay. So there are certain school board rules that you, as the school board OIG, do not follow.
The PIM model we do not follow.
And there are other rules that you do not follow.
You would have to tell me what those are for me to know that.
I mentioned the anonymous complaints.
Well, the anonymous complaints I considered part of the PIM model.
Did you, or anybody that you know of in your office, obtain any kind of written release from the Miami-Dade County School Board from following its rules?
My consideration is that I follow what our ILA says.
Whether you or anybody in your office obtain any kind of document that would allow you or anybody in your office to not have to follow every school board rule. Did you?
That's where I'm sticking with, is the ILA document.
So you think in that document, the interlocal agreement, there is a provision that allows for your exemption from school board rules?
It's not stated in those terms. We follow the ILA. I will say that in our practice, in our common practice in the office, we do not follow all the school board rules as it relates to the investigations.
Let me know where, what provision of the ILA or the interlocal agreement you rely on for not having to follow school board rules.
Make a couple of comments here. Parts of the ILA, the first in the whereas, the third whereas in the ILA, and we're talking about whereas the school board seeks to hire an inspector general that would be responsible on behalf of the school board for conducting, and the operant word, independent audits and investigations of school district practices and operations in order to prevent and detect fraud, waste, financial management, or abuse, and promote accountability, integrity, economy, and the government. And that whereas the independent part, meaning we do our own investigations. Okay, we're independent. The again, it says in section 3A, in the third line down on paragraph 3A, the organization and administration of the SBOIG shall be sufficiently independent to ensure that no interference or influence extends to the SBOIG adversely affects the independence and objectivity of the Inspector General. Okay? Then I go again to section 4, about the middle of that first A paragraph. SBOIG audits, investigations, inspections, and reviews will be conducted separately and independently from the aforementioned activities, and upon conclusion, SBOIG, where appropriate, shall refer the disposition and finalization of the audit, investigation, inspection, or review to the appropriate school board entity. Again, the emphasis on independent. We do not follow the same rules as the school board's investigative offices. School board rules.
Is there anything in that document that specifies that you do not have to follow the school board rules other than describing that your activities will be independent in nature?
No.
Let's start. Has anybody ever in writing given you an opinion that says that you are exempted from following school board rules, other than what's in the ILA?
And following school board rules is very broad. If you're referring to school board rules about investigating anonymous complaints, I've had nothing in writing. My supervisor has verbally told me we do not follow the PIM.
Is your supervisor part of the Miami-Dade County School Board Office of Inspector General?
He is the supervisor of that organization, but he is with Inspector General's office, so yes.
And did he advise you where he got that information?
He did not. He just said that is the common practice that we use.
Did you, in fact, talk to the school board attorney's office regarding that issue?
The issue of whether or not we investigate anonymous complaints, did not talk to the school board attorney. I was advised by my supervisors that that's how we conduct investigations.
And when I ask you about school board rules, again, I'm not limiting it just to the investigative model or the anonymous complaints. Because there may be other rules that you didn't follow. And I'm asking whether you know of any other rule that you did not follow.
I'm not aware.
Did you, when you were assigned to the school board, did you sit down and review every school board rule?
No, I did not.
Have you at any time?
I've reviewed school board rules that related to investigations.
Do you mean to say that you looked at the rules that you thought the employee had violated, for example?
That's correct.
Okay, but you're not saying that there's a set of rules dealing with investigations, but you do know that the investigative model does relate to investigations.
for the school board entities.
And you don't consider you to be part of a school board entity?
Not in the same sense that we're independent, more independent than the school board entities.